First of all, today is World International Men's Day, so I know my most of my audience is males, so happy International Men's Day to all of you. And let's get to the point. The RTR 310. So today we're not talking about how it rides in the city, and we are gonna compare it with the ns400z and the Duke 250, which are like 20 to 30,000 rupees cheaper than the RTR 310. And are they better than the RTR, or are they similar, or what are they? So let's talk about it. So I'm comparing these bikes, like these three bikes, on the basis of the pricing, the power, features, and obviously the category, which is naked sports. So yeah, let's start with the pricing. So ns400z cost around 2.45 lakh rupees on road in Pune. The Duke 250 cost you around 2.55 lakhs or 2.52 lakhs in Pune. I'm talking about all these prices which are in Pune. And the RTR 310 will cost you around 2.85 lakh rupees on road in Pune again. So almost 20-35 हजार का difference है, which is kind of a lot, but still. But is it worth paying 35,000 to 40,000 rupees more than the ns400, or is it worth paying at least 30,000 rupees more than the KTM Duke 250? Well, we'll find out in this video. So let's start with the features. So the RTR 310 gets ton of features, like there are plenty of features. I literally have to read all of this. So at very first we'll talk about the riding modes. So let me clear one thing. When I went to the TVS guys, like when I went to the test ride for the RTR 310, they provided me a bike with a bike whose speedometer wasn't working. So I wasn't able to use the traction control, I wasn't able to switch the modes, I wasn't able to use the ABS as well. Yes, even the ABS was off on the motorcycle. And so TVS also need to work on this thing. Please don't provide such kind of motorcycles to for test rides that can cause some kind of mess, which is not good for the customer at all. At least the ABS should be working on the motorcycle. Like not everyone is used to it riding a motorcycle without ABS nowadays. So yeah. Then second thing, it gets ride by wire, which is also in the ns400 and also in the KTM Duke 250. Quick shifter, yes, even both of the other motorcycles now get the quick shifter. So well, the RTR has the smoothest of three, that is definitely. But yeah, let's find out the other things as well. The main thing, which is the engine and the gearbox. So how is the engine performance? So I have written it in the rain mode. I need to like remind it again and again, sorry. But so yeah, when I started pulling like from the start, so till 4000 rpm, it's linear, like very smooth, calm engines, refined engine, no problems. Well, refinement, we'll talk it about in a little later. Let's first talk about the engine. So till 4000 rpm, it's pretty much linear, nothing like engine is pulling clean nicely. At 4000 rpm, there's a sudden jerk, like little jerk. Then again at 4500 to 5500 rpm, the bike is smooth, like pulling linearly. Then this something happens inside, and the bike just suddenly like wakes up. So it might like make you little afraid about it, but I feel like you will get used to it. So right from the 6000 rpm, so the power band starts from the 6000 rpm and goes till the red line, like 9000 rpm, at least in the rain mode. So yeah, the power is kind of more than enough, I feel. So this is what it was in the rain mode. So I don't know how it's gonna ride it in the sports mode. So I feel like power is superb. Then yeah, I just told about the torque delivery, and so the next part is the gearbox. How is the gearbox? The gearbox is super slick, super slick. You won't miss any shift. Like every single shift is perfect. quick shifter, without the quick shifter, it works superb. So that's a good thing. And even the downshifts are superb. The slipper clutch works absolutely fantastic. Like when you downshift, it doesn't lock up your rear wheel. It doesn't do any kind of that mess. Well, it's just good. Well, now we'll start about the refinement. This is something everyone complains from the 310 engine since 2017. Like not 2007, 2018 or 19. That's when the RR310 came with this BMW 310 engine. So how's the refinement? So till 5002, 5500 RPM, the vibrations are not at all there. It's smooth as hell. Like it's almost equal to like 150 to 200cc smoothness. So that's a kind of good thing. But past 6000 RPM, this is where the vibration zone starts coming in. So at 6000 RPM, the tank starts vibrating like little vibrations are there from the tank. Then at after 6000, yeah, like till after 7000 RPM, the seat starts vibrating. Then at 8000 RPM, the foot pegs start vibrating, and then at like 8000 RPM, even the handlebar vibrates a little, and at 9000 to 10,000 RPM, it vibrates like anything. The whole bike is almost vibrating. So the question is again, are you gonna stay at those RPM? Are you gonna stay at 8000, 9000 RPM whole day, even if you're cruising out on the highway? Are you gonna stay at those RPM? The clear answer is no, obviously. Because the bike is not happy at all, obviously, and another reason is that it makes a lot of noise. The exhaust note is not at all appealing. It just shouts like the 200 and the 160 have way more better exhaust note than the RTR's engine. Yeah, so this is about the refinement. Now let's talk about the refinement of the Duke 250 and the ns400. So the Duke 250 is super smooth till 6000 rpm, 6 to 6500 rpm. Beyond 6500 rpm, yes, there are vibrations in the Duke as well, but are those vibrations as bothering as the RTR? No, not at all. Vibrations are there in the Duke, but it's not even close to the RTR. RTR कुछ ज़्यादा ही vibrate होती है, इतना बहुत है. It's too difficult. But again, we have to keep in mind that it's a single cylinder and it produces 36 bhp for the displacement to power ratio अगर अपन देखें तो that is a lot. 310 cc के लिए 36 bhp single cylinder, that is a lot of power. So वो vibrations तो देगा, but they should have like balanced a little, तो थोड़ा अच्छा हो जाता. Then the second is the ns400. Well, it's the 373cc engine which is derived from the first gen Duke 390. So how is it compared to that? So NS में ऐसा है कि there are vibrations till 4000 rpm to 5000 rpm. Beyond 6000 rpm, the engine becomes smooth, literally. At 3000 rpm, there are little like jerkiness kind of like jittery kind of vibrations from the engine at 3000 rpm in the NS. Till 4000 rpm, yes, there are some similar kind of vibrations, but beyond 6000 rpm, the engine becomes smoother. 6000, 7000, 7500 rpm, the engine is smooth. Again, at 8000 rpm, the engine starts vibrating again. So like suppose you are out on the highway and you're cruising at 7000 rpm on the ns400, you will be able to do that. But will you be able to do that same on the RTR 310? I don't think so. You will be cruising at like 6000 rpm or at 5500 rpm on the highway on the RTR 310, so which is relatively less. Then the next part, which is not that important, but yes, again it's little important. So I'm gonna cover the four things, which are five things, which are the chassis, handling, cornering capability, tires, and the suspension. How is it? So all of these five things almost go together, and that's something which makes a bike flickable. That's something which makes a bike fun to ride, that's something which tells us कि भाई बहुत अच्छी चल रही है, flick हो रही है यहाँ से वहाँ, ऐसा ऐसा, tires are performing good, brakes are performing good, everything. Sorry, I'll talk about the brakes little later. So how is this RTR in terms of these aspects? So first, chassis and the handling. Chassis is wonderful. Everyone knows that it's derived from the RR310, and that's a race derived mode. That's a race bike. I mean, it's a sports bike. So it's very well engineered. It's superb when it comes to, suppose you want to like direct a line on the corner, so it will hold the corner properly. Even the RTR 310 is very much similar in terms of riding dynamics to the RR 310. So yeah, this is something which is definitely ahead of ns400 and the Duke 250. Duke 250 also has very good chassis. It also has I would say not like not about the Duke 250 chassis, but some, like suppose 310 chassis and handling is here, so Duke 250 is here. It's like a very little thing. But when it comes to ns400, so suppose the RTR 310 is here in terms of chassis and handling response, the ns400 is something here. So yeah, but RTR has less power, ns has more power, so ns can complete this gap. So this is about the chassis and handling. Then let's talk about the cornering, tires and suspension. So there is one problem with the RTR, which is the foot pegs. The foot pegs are rear set, but they are not too rear set. They should have been a little more rear set, because I went in the corner in the city. It was like empty space, so that's where I attempted that corner to like commit in the corner, and I almost scraped my left foot peg. So that would something limit the cornering capabilities of the RTR 310. If you Then the tires. Tires are something that even the Duke 390 cannot compete with the RTR, because the RTR gets the Michelin Road 5, which are superb tires. Those tires got heated up in like what, 3-4 kilometers in like 5 minutes, just in 5 minutes. So those are fantastic tires, and the pair of the tire cost you like 19,000 rupees. So when you will be changing your first set of your RTR 310, do remember that if you don't put the same tires on the RTR again, then you're gonna feel like the bike is not performing as good as it was performing before. So please keep that in mind. And the Duke 250 gets the MRF steel brakes, which are not that good tires, but the ns400 really comes with very nice tires, which are the Alpha H1s. So Apollo Alpha H1s are very well-known tire in this 150 section and 110 section, like size bracket. So in terms of tires, the RTR sits at the top with the Road 5s, Michelin Road 5s, fantastic tires. Then comes the ns400, and then comes the Duke 250. But the thing is, tires are something that you can change later, so it's something that you can replace. And the last thing is the suspension. So RTR has kind of very sophisticated suspension is what I feel, because it was absorbing bumps, it was helping me brake it hard. Obviously it's because of the tires, the brakes and the suspension together coming in. So brakes are good as well, suspension is good as well, but I feel like NS has little bit stiffer suspension on the rear, while the RTR has little soft suspension on the rear, and front of the RTR is like, I feel like total balance. It's not too stiff, it's not too soft, it's almost perfect. But the ns400's front forks are little soft, so it's kind of disbalanced. It's kind of like what you want to choose. So you want the rear end feel, or you want the front end feel, so you decide. So that's why I say again, do test ride your motorcycle, do test ride all of these 3 motorcycles, and then decide. So now let's come to a conclusion. Should you buy the RTR 310 over the Duke 250 and the ns400z? There's just a one word answer: no. Just don't. because RTR does have pitch shifter, RTR does have cruise control, RTR does have cornering ABS, but if in case, खुदा ना खास्ता, in case if there is some kind of problem in this electronic thing, which is common क्योंकि electronics बहुत जल्दी खराब होते हैं, not every time but होता है कभी कभी कि sensors वगैरह ठीक से काम नहीं करते, and these TVS showroom guys will be not able to fix that issue. I am damn sure. लिख के देता हूँ भाई, वो लोग कर ही नहीं पाएंगे, नहीं करते. There was issue in my ABS of the RTR 160 and they could not fix it. And the second thing is the spare part availability with the TVS. मेरी गाड़ी का हैंडल बार थोड़ा सा बेंड है. I have ordered it like what 3-4 months ago. अभी तक नहीं आया. So and RTR is a bike, 160 is a bike which is very common. So उसके spare part मिलना तो मतलब it should get मिलना ही चाहिए, but उसके भी spare part उन लोग के इधर से नहीं मिल रहे. So think about कि जब आप 310 के लिए जाओगे तो वो तो ऐसी बाइक है, that's their flagship bike, तो उसके लिए इतने जल्दी स्पेयर पार्ट तो वो लोग बनाते नहीं होंगे. That is what I am assuming. तो फिर think about it कि क्या आपको एक्चुअल में वो स्पेयर पार्ट्स मिलने वाले हैं. I don't think so. Compared to the Duke and the NS, RTR के स्पेयर पार्ट्स या सर्विस would be very shit. So please do keep in mind that thing क्योंकि सर्विस मैटर्स अ लॉट. जब गाड़ी में आगे जाके कुछ प्रॉब्लम आती है, सर्विस गाइज शुड बी एबल टू फिक्स दैट इशू, और एल्स देयर इज नो. क्या ही करोगे जब बाइक चलेगी नहीं तो क्या करोगे? 3 लाख रुपए, इट्स नॉट अ स्मॉल अमाउंट. सो आई वुड से go with the ns400 or the Duke 250. If you are coming from a 200cc motorcycles, 200cc, any 200cc motorcycle, I would say definitely go with a ns400. 43 bhp, yes, that might sound a little more कि बहुत power है, yes, that is a lot of power, but remember, great power comes with great responsibility. So in your initial days, please ride the ns400 really cautiously, अच्छे से ठीक से चलाओ, ज़्यादा उसको भगाओ मत, until and unless you get used to the power. And Duke 250, you can even go for that. If you're looking for your first bike, if you're going to buy your first bike, please buy the Duke 250 over the ns400. The Duke 250 will teach you a lot. It will make you a very good, better rider compared to the ns400. ns400 is something that requires skills. वो बाइक skills मांगती है. The Duke 250 teaches you skills. This Duke 250 is something that will teach you, that will give you chance to forgive your mistakes. ns400 will not do that. ns400 will directly take you to the hell. 160 जाती है वो गाड़ी. It's not a game, it's not a joke to suddenly sit on that motorcycle and just pull it to the red line. It's not a joke. Please, if you're buying your first bike, just go with the Duke 250. And yes, this is it. I don't think so the RTR 310 makes any sense in like today's market. If there was no ns400, अगर ns400 बाइक ही नहीं होती, like 2-3 साल पहले बाइक ही नहीं थी, तो in that case I would say yes, then it could have made a little sense. But when we have the ns400 today, which gives you more power, which gives you everything more, why should you get an RTR which is a very much unrefined motorcycle? So yeah, this is my conclusion. Either you should go with the ns400 or the Duke 250 instead of the RTR 310. And don't even think about the BTO version of the RTR, because that will cost you 3,45,000 rupees on road. So at that point, what do you get? Adjustable front forks, which is I don't think so much of a need for that motorcycle, because the stock forks are almost working superbly, and you get 10 other electronics which I don't think so will work perfectly. At some point there will be some kind of issue with these electronics, and again these TVS guys won't be able to fix it. So all of your extra money will get wasted. So please just go for the NS or the Duke 250. And yeah, that's it for the video. Please like and please let me know in the comments what you guys feel about this, what you guys think about the RTR, the NS and the Duke 250. And yeah, until then,